something that I love doing is painting models or action figures and doing toy photography. One of my favorite things to do. And the reason why I tell you this is, let's get these burrs out of here, is because I took this Battlemaster Optimus Prime from the Rise of the Beast toy line and painted it. Now, the reason why I did that is because, well, as you can see, he's lacking some paint. I mean, the only real paint... Hey, Thomas! The only real paint that he has is the silver, light blue. Of course I remember you. And this dark gray silver on these bars. Oh, and this tire. That's it. That's all he's painted with. Oh, also, almost forgot. His head's painted. Because of course. So I was not satisfied with that. Compared to the other stuff, I don't have all Battlemasters. These are the only ones that I have. My little brother has Mirage. I bought it for him. I couldn't find it. I don't have Battlemaster Bumblebee, but it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to show you. Hey, Thomas, focusing on education over Twitter is way better. Trust me, trust me, trust me. I've been on Twitter for about 7 years. I regret that. Anyways, so we're just going to quickly transform all of these. Just real quick, just bring out Chain Gun of Doom. These, at first I was not a fan of these because they hardly had any articulation. The only articulation they had was just pretty much basic stuff. Let's get this hand out of here. It was basic stuff. You couldn't move their head, nothing. It was just this. And he's not my first Battlemaster, though. And neither, since this is my last one, actually, that I bought. This is my first one. I was like, I wanted Optimus Prime. I couldn't find the Voyager. I found it now, obviously. And JT Thomas is left. Well, J. Thomas is left. Anyways, I'm just going to transform him real quick. I really like this Optimus Prime now because he's kind of grown on me. And he's become a somewhat road trip buddy of mine. So every time that I go to a place like Florida or something like that, I bring him along. Ooh, I showed up. Hi! So anyways, every time that I go to like Florida or something like that, I always bring him because he's just fun to flick back and forth. And he's just neat. But again, as you can see, he's lacking a lot of paint. You know, he rolls amazing. His wheels are not pinned, yet he rolls just absolutely fantastically, and I love it. So let's just go ahead and transform him. I could flick this guy back and forth all day. He has such a fun transformation as well. And it's with these Battlemasters that I learned that, you know, maybe not all Transformers have to have intricate transformation stuff and crazy articulation. Sometimes they can just be somewhat gimmicky and simple transformation with limited articulation and just look good aesthetically. The only thing that I just don't get is like why he does not have a Maximal symbol, but he has a Terracon symbol. He does not have an Autobot symbol. It's I don't know why they didn't do that. But that aside, I'm just actually going to transform this back into truck mode because I painted this in truck mode and road mode. So when I was painting the Optimus Prime, I was thinking to myself, okay, how do I want to approach this? Because the robot mode will also be compromised because of this. So I found this perfect blend between truck mode and robot mode, and here we go. It's based off of concept art, also the G1 toy, and the Voyager, because I had the Voyager at the time now. So, let me just explain to you what's going on. It looks like I got a glue stick and just... Anyways, so I started off... Gosh, where did I start? I think I started off with like these hatches on here because they were just there, and it just bugged me. See, it just bugged me. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna paint these, and so I did. And I really thought that these little bars holding the tire were going to be the hardest part. Nope, that was actually very easy. I was like, oh, okay, neat. And for the light blue, so what I did for light blue is that I actually got this dark navy blue and just mixed it with the white. And just did that back and forth. Just add white, add blue, add white, add blue. And I thought I was going to get the tire painted like crazy. I'm like, oh. But nope. And as for the sides, I kind of went with this blue because there's this upscaled version of this. In the back side is mostly blue. I wanted to stay faithful to not only the concept art, but also that toy. But then I realized, oh wait, this part is part of the outer arms, and that's silver. So I painted the back silver. So it's not compromised at all. I don't know what these little hatches are for, but I decided to paint them, just give them a nice little look. I just thought this would look good gray, so that's what I did. And then there's the whole white stripe, the iconic white stripe on Optimus Prime. Oh, I know what I did first. I painted the window black. I actually got masking tape, covered the window, and just got a Q-tip, dipped it in black paint, and just did that. And came back about 2 hours later, added another coat. 2 hours later, take off the tape thing, took off the tape, and it was just black all over. Like, no, it bled through. So what I did is that I got a Q-tip, and I dipped it in some isopropyl alcohol, rubbed it around here, and see, I took off some of the paint from the bar, as you can see here. But, oh well. It was my first try, so then I tried this side. This one had a bit more success. But I also tried painter's tape. I forgot where I put painter's tape. But I tried that as well. That also bled through. Like, oh my god! So I was a bit frustrated about that. And so I just reverted to not using not using tape. And then I was like, oh, I gotta use tape at some point. And I was like, well, what about Scotch tape? So I used Scotch tape. Worked perfectly. So that's what I use. Now, I don't use masking tape. I don't use painter's tape. I use Scotch tape. And this paint is also worth mentioning. This is oil-based paint. So, yeah. And as you can see, the front looks way more uniform, I guess. The white stripe was not in the concept art of this Mercedes Actros truck, but I was just like, I gotta have it. Like, Optimus Prime gotta have his white stripe. That's just like part of him. Like, I can't really imagine a G1 Optimus Prime without a white stripe. So I did that. And I also painted the headlights and chicken lights. I don't know why they're called chicken lights, but they're called chicken lights. Also painted these, and looking at the Smash Changers, they're yellow. I don't have a yellow. I tried to get a yellow. I couldn't find a perfect one. I need some coffee. I couldn't find a perfect yellow. But the silver that I have, I love it. It's just perfect. So with the truck mode out of the way, how's the robot mode look? Well, first let's transform this one. I wanted to show this off for like, oops. I wanted to show this off for a long time. I started this in 2024, 2023. 2024. But I got the model in 2023. Anyways, so here's the regular robot mode, unpainted and everything like that. As for him, oh, by the way, I made sure not to paint the joints because that would scratch off paint and be a pain and make everything stiff. So everything that I did, I made sure that, you know, the joints or not unnecessary parts were like painted. Oh, that reminds me, there's this hole for some reason, I don't know why. So what I did is that I got a piece of paper and just stuck it in there and just painted over that. As you can see, the silver likes to chip off, but in a way I kind of like it because it kind of looks like battle damage. And it was only later that I was informed that that I needed to sand down the plastic to paint it. I didn't know that beforehand. But my mustache is getting in my mouth. Yeah. But this is the robot mode. As you can see, looks, I don't know what it is, but he looks more beefy than this one, despite it just being just a few licks of paint here and there. So I just painted this gray like the Voyager, painted these silver, although technically they're gray, but I just painted them silver anyway. But I also painted the side tank silver. Forgot to show that off. I wanted to paint the sword. I tried to, but I couldn't. So I just left it like this. It's fine. But yeah, now Scourge. So I really want to buy another one of these Scourges because he's in this green, this Halo Master Chief sickly green. And that's not the original color that he was in the movie. So I want to paint him, well, black, like he was in the movie, or grayish blackish, and add rust effects to it, and I can easily find that at Hobby Lobby. I see it on the shelf all the time. Hobby Lobby, why won't you hire me? If anybody who's watching this works at Hobby Lobby, hire me. Anyways, so I can easily, that's where I got all my paints, is Hobby Lobby. And if I ever needed to take any paint off or anything like that, I use isopropyl alcohol. Now here's a horror story. I used isopropyl alcohol on here. All of a sudden, his legs just started fading, like the color just started fading. There's just like this weird whitish, grayish film on his legs. I could easily rub it off with my fingernail in underwater, but it would come back. And I messaged one of my friends, and he said he's probably eating away at it. I was like, no, no! And so I quickly looked it up to see if other people had the problem of alcohol in plastic making it. Yeah, Hobby Lobby is really fun. And I found out that it's actually a very common problem. So I looked up a remedy for it. And I was in a panic because this was my one model, essentially, and I didn't want to use a road trip buddy And I found out that Vaseline will like eliminate the effects. So I just got a thing of Vaseline and just plastered his legs with Vaseline. So everything that you see right here, that was just covered in Vaseline. Just a thick jelly around his legs, which was a pain to clean out because look, it's hollow in there. So I had to get a Q-tip and just, it was hard. It was hard to get it out. What's this here? Is this part of the, hang on, is this, I don't know what this is. I don't know why that's white. That's a bit weird. But, yeah, every time that I applied alcohol, oh, hang on. No, that's just a paint chip, okay. But every time I applied alcohol here, the reason why I did is to get off the paint, because isopropyl alcohol is, from what I've found, is the best way to get off the paint. I would always apply Vaseline, just wait for just a while. I don't know what would happen if I put isopropyl alcohol on this. Probably nothing, realistically. But I don't know. I don't. Which is why I need another one. But I'm not selling this. I plan on buying a few Transformers and painting them to make them look either more cool or battle damaged, or thank you for interrupting me, Kavak. That's really nice. Anyways, as I was saying, basically, if they're inaccurate, I would make them look more accurate and stuff like that. If one is just lacking in the paint department and just looks generally bad, I would paint it to make it look better. So let's just take the Authentics line that you can, like, you could go to Dollar General, pick up an Optimus Prime that's like $5, about this tall, lacking in so much paint and joints. If you were to hand that to me, I would look at it, transform it a bit, transform it back, look at all the moving parts, and think to myself, okay, where can paint be applied here? And I have my eye on this Authentics Optimus Prime. It has been upscaled and painted better, but as it stands, it's this small and lacking in paint. Bad. I honestly don't have $5 to go buy it. But once I do, I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to sell it. But that's not my main focus for a paint project. I got a Bumblebee Studio Series Ratchet, and I love that figure. All right, he may not have wrist swivels, but he's really funny. He has light piping. I love light piping. So I'm going to paint that since I have a duplicate still in the box. I tried to sell it off, but nobody wanted it. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. I'll just keep it. And I thought to myself, why not make it a paint project? So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint it. I have all the things that I need. And I'm going to make him look more like the CGI render, because he does not look like the CGI render. He has gray hands instead of red. I'm like, why? Why does he have gray hands? He has red hands. It's supposed to be screen accurate. What the heck? And he's lacking in a red strip. It's a mess. He's mostly accurate, but still, if I were to get another one of these and paint it, yeah, I'd probably sell it. But I would not sell mine. Not selling this one either, nor this one, nor this one. I haven't painted any of these, but as you can see, Rhinox here has a bit more paint than this Optimus Prime, which is kind of what drove me to paint this. So yeah, I just wanted to show this off. None of the joints are restricted by paint. Neither are the transformation joints. But I just think that he shines more in truck mode. But yeah, I love taking this one with me on just road trips. Now, if we're going to, like, say Walmart or something like that, I won't take him because, like, that's just down the road. We're going to church, that's even closer. You know, I won't take him on short road trips. Now, longer road trips, yeah, I would. Again, to Florida. My neurologist is in Florida, and as you know, I'm epileptic. So every time I would go there, bring him. I don't bring him into the doctor's office. I leave him in the car, but he still stays with me as I just transform him. And something that I like to do personally is whenever he's in truck mode, I like to, let me just put him in truck mode so you can see what I'm talking about here. I like to imagine him on the road. So I'd put him right up. You can't see that, but I'd put him up to my eye line. And that's essentially what the road is. And I imagine him just driving down the road. So, yeah, I thought I might share that with y'all because there are actually a lot of people who bring Transformers with them as road trip buddies. And this is one of them. Oh, another thing that that was a challenge for me with this is these little latches. You can't see that, and I can't focus it because it's not. Focus on this. I can't do that. This is not my camera. But as you can see, there's these tiny little latches here. I wanted to paint those something else, but I was like, it's fine. Also, this looks kind of glossy. That's because I mostly caked the paint on there. And suffice to say, I didn't use a Q-tip to paint the rest of Optimus Prime. Instead, I used brushes of various sizes for different places. So, yeah, I also had to use the smallest brush for these. I want to paint these yellow, but oh well. I also want to paint this bit yellow over here. There's some headlights that you can't really see. But, oh well. And again, I wanted to paint the sword. I wanted to paint it like yellowish, orangish, reddish, kind of like in the movie, but I didn't really have a good reference at all, unfortunately. But, oh well. So yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that that maybe one day I can live stream myself painting a Transformer. And I plan on live streaming painting that Authentics Optimus Prime and selling it off. It's $5 at the Dollar General, so I could resell it for about $15. The reason why is because it's painted, so it has more value. Now, if you were to look at it from Amazon, like on Amazon, it's $10. I'm like, $10? It's the same price as like Core Class, which unfortunately they decided to discontinue, which I'm very unhappy about. But oh well. And if I were to go off that, I'd be saying like, okay, $20. But I really don't think that the figure will be the price of a deluxe class with paint. I really don't. I don't have it. I haven't bought it, so I don't know. It may be an absolutely fantastic figure, but from what I've seen, it don't really look like that. It looks like a budget Transformer. But who knows? And unfortunately, Transformers is kind of coming to an end because Hasbro said, well, the CEO of Hasbro said that they wanted to stop making toys and make games. They say that after they deactivate a Transformers game called Transformers Reactivate. And I'm just like, Chris, you are an idiot. Your target market are collectors. You've been a toy company. You've always been a toy company. Brian Goldner tried to make Hasbro into a television company. And that nearly put Hasbro under. You're doing the same thing. But people can't see that. Well, he can't see that. Other people can. He can't. Which makes sense. He's from Microsoft. So, yeah, eventually Transformers, My Little Pony, everything that Hasbro makes, Dungeons and Dragons, might come to digital. Wait, it might come to consoles. Either way, these are toys will officially be no more if this guy, the CEO of Hasbro, doesn't come to his senses. If that's the case, then Star Wars figures, you'll have to rely on somebody else. Transformers, you'll have to rely on third party. Unless another company buys out Transformers. And God help us if that's the case, because who knows what their plastic quality control is. But if Bandai buys it, I don't know. This is made out of PS plastic. Feels somewhat kind of cheap-ish. I mean, I can easily break it. Now, with Flame Toys, I built the IDW Megatron here. I don't have him with me. I should have bought him. But I didn't. More than likely, if Transformers does end, like if Hasbro stops making them, more than likely model kit companies will continue to make those characters. Now, I don't know if Chris is either an idiot or just stupid, but he needs to come to his senses. Okay, because nobody's going to buy Hasbro's games. The only successful games that Hasbro has made that are based off of Transformers is the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron games by High Moon Studios. But yeah. Next painting project will either be Ratchet or that Authentics Optimus Prime, which I plan on live streaming. I'm not sure about Ratchet. I don't know if I'm going to live stream Ratchet being painted. I might. I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to show this off. And like, comment, and subscribe.